My name is Carl Moore. I'm originally from Canton, Mississippi. Still call it home. That's where most of my family is. I moved to Memphis in 1983 to go to college. I moved here with no intentions of staying here. And you know what happens with life, life takes over, and I'm here for 40 years. But I've been an artist pretty much, I would say, all my life. What led to that? Well, my brothers and sisters were always interested in art, and at some point in time in their early life, they were producing art, but went on to other careers. I stayed with it. I grew up with a kidney disease, and I think that kind of led to kind of the long-term part of it, because when you're in and out of the hospital, you can always create art. It just stayed with me, and moving here to go to school allowed me to just keep doing what I love to do. When I was in grad school, I caught some flack for having titles first. It gives me a path to go down. My process is about research. I find images or I shoot images myself, and I never quite use the images. I use the images as reference for anatomy, positioning, lighting, and from there I make sketches, I make drawings, and once I get the rough sketch just like I want, I do a clean drawing. Like I said, I'm never actually using the image, but I am using the outline and the positioning of the image, and by the time it gets to that final sketch, the drawing looks like what I want it to look like. Then I get my canvas, I grade out my canvas, get a really clean drawing onto the canvas, really meticulous about it. And at that point, I go into the process of mixing color. I keep a lot of paint, and I build color. I build a color scheme for the painting. And once it's gridded, I start painting. And that process can last anywhere from a week to a couple of months. It just depends on the complexity, because the painting, it evolves as I start to paint. I find a subject that I like and something I want to work on. I create my titles because in my head I see what the painting looks like. 98% of the time I keep the title because that's what the painting is about. I do strive for a certain level of quality in my work. I worked 8 years as a draftsman for the Department of Defense. Maybe that may have leaked into my work, but I was always meticulous about my work even before then. I tell any artist now, look at what other artists are doing, not to copy, but see how they solve problems, how they took this idea and they turned it and twisted it. So that's kind of my thing that I get from looking at other art and looking at how other people produce work, because you don't spend hours in a studio doing things for nothing. Being an artist is a privilege, not a right. So I take this very serious.